Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. Today we have something different. Today we have two stories out of the entitled People subreddit. Let's begin. Our first story is by Is Like One. Crazy lady accuses me of kidnapping my stepson, tries to kidnap him from me. First, a little backstory. I'm a mixed ethnicity individual. I've been confused for many other races over the course of my 29 years on this planet, but I'm literally Caucasian and African American. Usually it can be figured out, but the difference with me is that my father is Caucasian, so therefore my hair is straight. I'm originally from Texas and am usually confused for being Mexican. But now I live in Massachusetts, and I've never had an issue with anyone concerning my race until this day. Also, I'm married to a Caucasian woman who has a child before we were married. His father is not in his life as much, and I took responsibility because I love this woman and I love this little boy as if he were my own. He's now 4, and I've been in his life since he was 1. Anyways, on to the story. My wife needed a few things from the grocery store and she needed to run a few more errands, and usually she just goes and knocks these things out because I'm asleep. I work nights. But this particular day I happened to be awake and I offered to go for her. She works hard and does a lot, so I definitely felt it was necessary to do something for her so she could just relax for the day. I took my son with me so that she could rest up and take it easy and give me some time to spend with my son for some bonding. We completed all the errands, which went smoothly, and then we headed to the grocery store to finish up our day. My son, being typical 4-year-old, was full of energy, running ahead of me, laughing and speaking to everyone he comes across, which I generally don't mind as long as he doesn't hit anyone and stays within eye view. As I'm making my way down the aisle looking for canned corn, my son jogs to the end of it when an older lady enters the other end. My son, being the sweet social butterfly he is, approaches and exclaims in an excited, "Hi, me 4, and me Ryan," bless his little heart. The lady looks down and says, "Well, hello there. You shouldn't be running around unattended. Let's go find your parents." I didn't think anything of her statement because I just assumed she hadn't seen me. "Ryan, come back here, bud, please." He excitedly runs back towards me and starts turning in circles because, you know, he's 4. I'm still searching the shelves as the lady walks past me and stops behind me. Again, I think nothing of it because it's a grocery store and you have to share the aisles. I turn my basket around and start to walk towards the front cash registers when this lady literally blocks my path. I say excuse me and try and walk around her, and she moves her cart in front of me again. I honestly thought she was just getting confused and said excuse me once again and tried one more time to go around her, and she just blocks my path. The following conversation ensues. Me, sorry, we'll get out of your way. Lady, "Oh, I don't think so. You're not going anywhere with that child." Me, "You mean my son?" Lady, "That's not your child. He's white and you're Mexican. You probably didn't even know his name until he said it to me." Me, "Sure, whatever, lady. Can you just move? My wife is at home, anxiously awaiting us." Lady, "Stop your lies. You're not taking him anywhere, you pervert." This whole time, my son is standing close to me, holding my leg because he was honestly getting scared. I was getting angry because I hadn't had much sleep, and I have a very short fuse. Thanks, Dad. Me, "As you can see, he's standing close to me because he trusts me, and you're scaring him, so how about you buzz off?" Lady, "No! He's scared because of you. He just doesn't know how to express it yet." She looks at my son. Lady, "Come on now, sweetie. I'm here to rescue you. Come with me." Thankfully, my son was able to communicate to her that he wasn't going anywhere with her, but she was having none of it. She literally grabbed my son and began to run. It caught me off guard because honestly, I could not fathom what was actually happening. My son started screaming loudly because he was so scared, and this lady is just like, "Don't worry, sweetie. He won't hurt you. I promise." Suddenly, I snapped back into reality. I began to chase after this crazy wench. While running through the store, I yell at people to stop her, that she's kidnapping my son. Thankfully, a worker stops her before she makes an exit. Lady, "Why are you stopping me? This Mexican is trying to kidnap my grandson." My son is literally bawling his eyes out and extending his arms out, calling for me. This lady was relentless and will not let go of my son even after he slaps her face multiple times. I laughed a little, not gonna lie. At this point, the manager shows up and asks what's going on. The lady spoke before me. Lady, "This," pointing at me, "pervert tried to kidnap my grandson, and I was just trying to escape." Me, "That's my son, you freaking psycho, now let him go." The The manager didn't know what to believe. I don't blame him, he was caught in a weird situation. So I pulled my phone out and showed him pictures of me and my son that dated back a year or so, back as proof. This lady still would not give up and accused me of faking them. Like, how do you do that exactly? I'll never know, but whatever. Sadly, there were two other ladies there taking the psycho side that I was attempting to kidnap my own son because there was no way we were family because of our different skin tones. One of them called the police, which I was actually happy about because I knew that they'd be able to review the security cameras. Even still, I called my wife to see if she could come to the store to get the situation cleared up quicker. As soon as I told her what was going on, she zoomed over to the store. She got there about the same time as the police. The crazy ladies were giving their statements to the cops when my wife walked in. As soon as she walked in, my son goes, "Mama, help!" My wife in true mama bear form, and she immediately flew into a rage when she saw the lady holding my son. My wife, "Let him go, now." Lady, "Sorry, sweetie, I was just trying to protect him from this pervert over here." Lady 2, "Yeah, I saw him trying to kidnap him, but this lady saved him." The cop looks at the lady and is confused. Officer, "I thought you said he was your grandson." Wife, "I have no idea who this lady is." She takes out her phone and shows the officer a picture of my mother-in-law. Lady, "Okay, I'm sorry, he's not my grandson, but I was only trying to protect him from this dirty pervert over here." Lady 2, "Yeah, I witnessed the whole thing. He snatched the child and tried to run away with him, but this lady stopped him." Lady 3, "Yes, I saw it too. He needs to be arrested, and you," points to my wife, "should be thankful that this lady saw your son because you obviously just let him loose wherever." My wife, "Who are you talking about again?" All three crazy ladies point to me. Wife, "Oh, you mean my husband?" Lady 1, "Husband?" Wife, "Yeah, who do you think called me and got me here so fast?" I presented my ID to the officer and to the manager, and my wife did the same. We also each showed pictures of us on our phones to prove that we're all a family. The cop nodded in approval and handed us our phones back and jotted down a few notes. The three ladies, for some reasons, still kept trying to say that this was all fake and that my wife was in on the kidnapping and said that we needed to be arrested. My wife lost it at this point and let off some colorful words that I won't repeat, but she definitely got her point across. Then the nail in the coffin came for the psycho trio. The officer turned to the manager and asks, "Officer, sir, do the cameras work here?" Manager, "Yes, we have them inside and out." Officer, "Okay, great. Let's go to review." The three ladies' faces went pale, like ghostly pale. The officer reviewed the outside cameras as I pulled into the parking lot and saw me take my son out of the car and then went up and down the aisles. Most importantly, the instance where the woman snatched up my son and begun to run. Upon his return, asks, "Officer, would you like to press charges?" Lady 1, "Yes, I would." Officer, "Why would I be asking you that question? Shut your mouth and sit down." He turns to me and repeats the question. Me, "Absolutely." Lady 1 was charged with attempted kidnapping, false imprisonment, providing a false police report, and child endangerment. The other two were charged with providing a false police report as well. To make matters worse for Lady 1, my son bruises easily, and she left some terrible spots from where she tried to grab him, but he's fine. This added a charge of child abuse to her rap sheet. I have court later this year, but I'm not sure when because of COVID. The officer will be following up with me in a few weeks. Sorry for the length. If you've been watching until here and are enjoying my content, please put some heart emojis in the comment section down below. And our last post is by Seonite. Entitled Teacher calls CPS on me because I refuse to talk to her about my mom. Longtime lurker here. I've dealt with my fair share of entitled people, both in school and at work, and have so many stories to tell, but this one is the one that I remember so vividly. Also, I'm not a native English speaker, so mistakes may be made. For some context, my mom was in and out of the hospital when I was around 10 to 13 years old because of bipolar disorder, and by the time all this went down, when I was 15, my mom was doing better, home, and she was even working. So in my final year of secondary school, one of my teachers began pulling me out of class in the middle of lessons. At first she just wanted to chat about my grades, which were average, but then she started asking more intrusive questions about my mom and her illness and began to compare my mom's illness to her mom, who apparently had suffered from the same thing, and began telling me sob stories about her childhood. She also began asking me uncomfortable questions about my home life. I didn't say much, I just sat there feeling very confused confused about it all. This happened over the course of 3 months, and eventually I got really sick of her pulling me out of the classroom in the middle of lessons, and I snapped. I told her to stop pulling me out of class and to leave me the hell alone. I turned to leave and go back to class. She grabs my arm and tells me that if I continue to withhold information, she will have to call CPS. I told her to call them. They wouldn't find anything, and she'd be wasting their time. A few days later, I get called out of the classroom, not by her, but by the principal, who takes me into her office where the CPS worker, my mom and dad are waiting. I realized I already knew this woman. She had been at our house sometimes while my mom was ill. The CPS worker, my parents, and I all talked, and she came to the conclusion that everything was fine, but I broke down in tears because the whole situation had been really stressful. My parents were angry. They demanded to know why the hell this teacher thought it was okay to harass me about something that was none of her business. We never got a proper answer, and the teacher refused to say anything. She stared daggers at me though. The CPS lady was angry about having her time wasted and demanded some type of action from the principal. The teacher was not allowed to be in the room alone with me anymore, under no circumstance, to take me out of the classroom alone. Eventually she was moved to another class and later let go for harassment and assault of another student. By the way, I didn't tell my parents because I was a dumb kid thinking that I was the one who would be in trouble about it. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my content, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day.